Right. So we have, Katie said I had to introduce myself. My name is Jan Larson. I represent Larson's Head Acres, and we have a whole whopping total of 10. Got a few coming this spring and 1 or 2 this fall. And main herd is in Minnesota, but we have some here in Wisconsin as well. Not here. I got to remember I'm in Minnesota. We have some in Wisconsin. That's what I'm trying to say. Can you tell I'm nervous? Okay. So we have about 44 people here, and the proof of meeting, the notices were sent out in the November 2022 Hoofbeat, as well as on the Facebook and the North Central website. And minutes of the annual meeting, was that in the packet? Yeah, did everybody get a chance to look over the meeting, the minutes? And if so, can I get a motion to accept them? So Mark moved and Sharon seconded. So we're going to move on to the officer report. To the secretaries. Did everybody read the secretary? Oh, Ann, you've got it. Oh, good. Okay, so you can come up here and read it, and I'll give you the mic. That's okay.
Okay, usually the secretary gives a summary of our last year's membership. So in 2022, we had 161 member farms representing 27 states. We are highly focused on Minnesota with 44 farms, and Wisconsin was 47. The next couple of states were Iowa, Nebraska, and Michigan. And then we had 1 or 2 in a lot of other states. Our auction generated 21 new memberships, and we had 15 sponsored members this year. Thank you to 40 Acres for sponsoring 5 new farms. Flatland Farm, 4 farms. And the rest were Climbing Stump, Last Chance Ranch, Retired Acres, and Windermere Farm. And very happy to be handing the secretary duties over to Randy Johnson this year. So thank you, Randy, for stepping in, and goodbye from me in that role.
Thank you, Ann. All right. Is there a treasurer's report? Here is. I'm going to give you the mic, Josh, and go sit down.
Do you expect it to be long? Is that...
Yeah.
So when you came in, there was a handout that has the treasurer's report on there. And so like Ann, I won't go through and read it all, but I'll give you some highlights. I kept on everything from 2020 because 21 was an off year with COVID. We didn't have as many activities. So I kept 2020 on here for comparison's sake. So Billy, I was thinking about this. Have I been treasurer for 6 years now? 5. Been a while. And Billy was treasurer forever before that, and Sydney was treasurer in there before Billy, right? So we've had basically 3 treasurers in the last 25 years, something like that. So we're working on Kevin Opperman has agreed to take on the treasurer position, so I will be officially retiring. I didn't want to beat Billy's record, so I wanted to leave that for his legacy. But I brought that up because when I started as treasurer, we had $19,000 in the bank. And today, as December 31st, we had $59,261. And that is just between the general account, the show, or the sale account, and the juniors. The show still has its own bank account on top of that. So we are sitting very healthy. Also, if you would have looked at our membership at that time, we were probably running around 60, 70 members a year, probably about 5, 6 years ago, and so we've almost tripled our membership as well. So you'll see that as we go through here. When you look under income, our membership income is significantly up. Within the membership bucket, it includes regular membership. It also includes sponsorships. plus hoofbeat ads. That's all in there as well as part of the membership. So you can see that's up. Calendars are up. When you start to look at it, when you look at other things with donations in there. So in all, we had a plan. So you read this, 2022 is the actual, the column to the right of it where it says 2022 plan. That's what we submitted last year of what we said we were going to do at this event. So we were actually, for income, we were slightly above the difference column there. You can see we were $1,000 higher in total income than we were as far as plan goes. When you look at expenses, as we look at expenses, we gauge that over the past 3 years and figure our income is going to be flat. But when our income goes up and our membership goes up, so do some of our expenses as well. So you'll see that in the advertising and marketing. We had $1,000 over plan spend. Annual meeting, that's a significant jump there that I wanted to point out. 21, it was 0 because we didn't have an annual meeting. And you look at 22 being 4,500 versus in 2020 it was 3,000. We did some things this year. We had a speaker that we're paying to come in, so we've got some costs there. We lowered our costs to come here, right? It used to be, was it 30? We moved it to 25 or something like that. So we lowered the cost to 10. We've added food. We didn't always have food for different things, so we tried to build out this meeting a little bit more. So we added to the cost of having the annual meeting as well. Calendars, you could see, are higher in expense, but they were higher in income above as well. If you look at some of these other things, there's two new things on here that I wanted to point out that we added for budget during the year. One was the board approved $500 for farm tech days to be used for exhibiting the cattle there and to really help Dennis and Maureen offset the costs for doing that. We really appreciate you guys doing that. And then Minnesota State Fair as well to help Mark and Jamie offset the costs and all the expense for that fair as well. So those are new costs that were added in here that weren't budgeted for. So you can see our total expenses was $12,833 on a plan of $9,200. So we did spend a little bit more, but you'll see that we had $1,000 more income, and you're going to see that we had okay income on some of these other things. We'll talk more about the sale later. There's some opportunity to talk about that in reports, but here's the finances for the sale if you want to take a look at that. And then the junior account here at the bottom as well. So any questions for the treasurer's report?
Okay, so I need a motion to accept Josh's treasurer's report. Maureen moved to accept it. Do I have a second? Mark? Okay, thank you. And I would like to welcome Todd and Jenny Green, who just moved to Wisconsin. Thank you guys for coming. Good to see you. I was hoping we'd see you here. Yeah, get that. Okay. Moving on to reports. The ACA report should be in that packet. Mark, anything you want to read it, or is it anything I did hit?
I'll read it. I'll just, like everybody else, I'll just point out some of the bigger things, kind of summarize. The annual membership meeting, we've kind of set that now to be in October of every year virtual. That used to float along with the annual gatherings, and since the annual gatherings have been not as consistent as where they are and how they're laid out, we decided that would be a good thing to get the annual meeting as established every year. The other things I think of note are coming up is the 75th annual gathering this summer in Chicago in South Dakota. So if you don't have your reservation, go ahead and get those in. I think it's going to be a good time. I think it will be a heavy on the social end of things. So that'll be fun. The other thing is, Josh Prinz has been elected president of ACA, and along with that, he has been working with the beef marketing committee for several years already, but they have a lot of exciting things going on, and ACA is very stable financially as well as we are. So I think it's time to make some moves and do some of those things to promote our breed, and Josh has a great plan laid out for that. So that's kind of some of the different things that you see on there. So and while I'm up here, I'll also make a plug. I'm on the Highland Cattle Foundation, have been for many years, and we added Cindy Wiedemann to our board this year. So Cindy will be a part of the Highland Cattle. Which is a nonprofit, separate organization. And if you're ever looking to donate some money, we're always receiving that. Scholarships each year. We look at any kind of research people want to do to support financially that research. We've done some things in the past. That's about two of our main objectives as a foundation. But, any questions for me? Thanks.
Want to do a Minnesota State Fair or something here? You can. Go for it.
Minnesota State Fair. So we've been, we've had a presence at the Minnesota State Fair. I think we debate on the actual year, but Cindy and John Ryman of our organization were probably some of the early ones, 79 or 80-ish, right, Cindy? Is when we've been there just about every year. I think we've missed two was because of COVID and one year. The last 9 years, we've been a part of the education booth there. A lot of people from our organization help out during that time. Jamie and I supply the animals. I live at the fair for 13 days. So, but this year will be the 10th year, and I'm probably going to be looking to step away from that. So we'll see how that goes, if we can stay in that area, or I'll get some more information on that and bring it back to the board. But you look at that fair brings through, before COVID, the high was 2.2 million people over the course of 13 days. So even if you see a fraction or talk to a fraction of those people through the booth area, that's a lot of people you're promoting the breed with. So been a great experience. We have a lot of followers that come to shows as a result of seeing us at the fair and all that kind of stuff. So good breed promotion. Any questions on Minnesota State Fair? Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Mark. And thank you for your dedication for doing that for so many years. I know it's a big deal. So I was sitting here thinking, does everybody, especially the new people, know what he says when he's talking about ACA, American Highland Cattle Association? That would be the National Highland Cattle Association. They are kind of our parent, so to speak, and we are a subsidiary of them as a region. We're the North Central region. All right. Melinda, would you like to speak about the show? They just do it. You're going to do it.
Good morning. So we had a successful show this year. The report is in your packet there. We had a good turnout, a successful show and everything. If you look, it tells you how many animals and all that information. You'll also notice that there's a loss at the bottom. We've, as a show committee, have really tried to improve our show and grow our show and make it better and better. Mark did a beautiful job before we came to run the show. And so it's challenging. It's hard to squeeze everything into that budget when prices are going up and going down and going crazy. And so a couple of things I just wanted to talk about. You're going to ask, why is that bottom line negative? First of all, I'm a terrible person about planning banquets. I'm always like, oh no, Randy, do we add 5 more people? Oh no, we're up to 80, only 60 people came. Oh no. So our banquet is the problem that I need to work on. That was a significant part of our deficit. We also flew in a judge. We've never done that before, or haven't in a long time. And so his costs were significantly more. Usually it's $100 or $200 for our judge. I had to fly him in. We paid him And then also he needed a place to stay and things like that. So that increased our costs somewhat. The other thing was our stall bedding. I called the guy about stall bedding. He said it's going to be this much. It's one load. You'll be great. And he got there, he dumped it, and we needed another load. So that doubled my costs. And so we ended up with a deficit, which I'm not happy with, of course. But overall, I think the show went really well. You know, I'm always open to suggestions, obviously. We just want to make it better and better. We want people to come. We have a little bit different kind of a show. Like well, why can't our show be like this show? Well, that show's got, you know, let's say 5 families that run it, and they all work together, and it's just me and my family. So saying that, I brought a list of tasks that need to be done for this show this year. If anybody would, I mean, if you can't be there, I can use a marketing and promotion person. If you want to come and just do one task, I just want to set up the display. I have a sign up spot for that. I'm recruiting, so I'd love to have you help us. It's a really fun show. It's a family show. We do tons for kids. And if you just want to get your feet wet and try it out, you know, I've never shown before, but I'd like to try. We would love to have you come and just enjoy that time as a Highland community. So anybody have questions? Yeah. Nervous. Like, I was really nervous. I was calling Randy, like, help me, Randy.
Exact same thing. That is a minor question. I mean, shows aren't meant to make money typically.
Nice when
if
they
you
do that.
if you do
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
me, it's a pillar of our association that needs to be supported no matter where it ends up.
I would just add on that aspect. And given the treasurer's report, we're very healthy. We've always kind of said, hey, the show budget has its own thing. I think it's probably time that the board started to look at it. So if we needed to supplement, do anything, then now is the time to do it. We want our show to continue to be.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
Even if you're not showing animals, it's definitely worth the day. There's nothing else like it.
I'm trying to use the Minnesota without the bacon. Thank you so much.
I want to give you guys lots of props because that show committee works really hard throughout the year to give us a good show. So let's see. Then we're going to talk about World Beef. We have World Beef Expo is in West Dallas, Wisconsin, down in my neck of the woods, the lower east corner of Wisconsin. And we had a little bit of confusion there when I got there this year, and I had to hop up in by the record keepers and kind of try to straighten things out. I'm working with the board currently on figuring out classes, and I'm working with the World Beef Board on figuring out classes and getting things straightened around that way. So that's my project after this weekend as well. We had a few local breeders in attendance. Thank you very much. And some that came from as far away as Pennsylvania. And Mid-Lakes Highland walked away with, what the heck? Yeah, it's on. It just doesn't want it. It just. Yeah. She goes, talk loud. Okay. I want to welcome Mid-Lakes Highland. They're actually new to North Central this year. They walked away with brand champion cow calf and went on to win reserve overall supreme champion cow calf at World Beef. That is super huge. I believe that's the first time that's ever been done. Actually, never been done at World Beef Expo. Do I have to yell anymore? No, no. Marco? Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, that just showed me that. All right. The junior committee report. Lauren, I'm going to have you come up here. And honey, you're going to have to yell really loud. Yes, use your outside voice. Yes.
You're yelling at Barry.
I can do that. I can do that. So the juniors this past year, we've been working on growing our junior program, and we're trying to create more opportunities for our juniors and ways for them to want to be included. Some of the ways we've tried to get kids more included in the decisions we make, we've started emailing out all of our minutes from our junior meetings, just so kids can kind of know what's going on, what we're planning on doing. Sorry. We've started heavily promoting all of our awards. So we have a Junior of the Year award that we give out every year at the North Central show. And we're going to start promoting that 6 months early just so kids know more about it. As well as the college scholarship. We have a $5,000 or $500 scholarship that we give out every year. So we're going to start promoting those heavier. We're also going to start including more knowledge stuff at our show, just so confirmation and stuff, so kids can learn a little bit more about that and showmanship at the show. This upcoming year, we're planning on further improving activities and improving the junior membership. We're discussing improving awards at the show and possibly adding in some premiums for our showmanship and heifer shows at the show. And creating more incentive activities during the year. We have our sweatshirt contest, a design contest that we have every year. We've had for the past 3 years. And we're going to start promoting that a little heavier so kids know what's going on. We have a couple additional ideas that we're not really sure on yet, that we're working on. And then our current balance is $2,422. And we're going to use those funds as well as funds donated and raise an auction to, thank you, for the upcoming year to do the junior scholarship and awards and for the annual show and the annual sweatshirt incentive. Yeah, that's about all. Does anybody have questions, I guess? Any questions? No? Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Lauren. So for anybody online, what happened is our mic died. Okay, so the production sale. For Josh, go. Here he is. I'll let you talk about that.
Hey, Jan. So in your packet of things, there is a production sale report. We had a record production sale this year. We had an average female price of $7,200. We had an average bull price of $4,000. We had a high Windermere Kahlua 14,501 was the high selling heifer for the sale. We had a high selling cow calf of quinoa 14,255, and we had a high selling bull from Snowland at 92.50. So just a tremendous sale. And I know when you see the National Western Report as well, you know, we are doing really well from a value standpoint. People are making wise investments, buying good cattle, and they're seeing that return on those investments when they're going to sell offspring from the cattle. So it shows, once again, the importance of purchasing registered American Highland Cattle Association cattle. You can see the rest of the report on there. We are going to have the 2023 sale will be on June 3rd this year. So we moved it up a couple of weeks because the National American Highland Cattle Association gathering in South Dakota is the weekend of June 16th and 17th. We wanted to move it up. And the North Central sale brings people from all over the United States. This will also give people opportunity to plan to drop trailers and haul cattle back when they go to the gathering and that type of thing as well. So people can plan that all around the gathering for the sale. The numbers components of this, if you see going back to the treasurer's report, I'll go back and refer to here. We made a profit of $10,300 as North Central from that. And that is after we actually lowered our commission rates. So we had lowered our commission rates. They used to be 12%. We made a decision to lower them to 8%. And then we actually lowered the buyback percentage as well for buybacks if there were any. So if you have animals you're thinking about, we would highly suggest that you take a look at the North Central sale to help sell those animals, because that's part of what we do. Is if you don't want to do the marketing, we do it for you. That's part of what the sale is. It's a great way to get your name out there and get your farm name out there as well. So the committee, we've got some committee members in here. Randy's here, Gene and Rich are here, Ann's here, Kevin's not here. Who am I missing? I think that's our committee. So if you have any suggestions for the production sale, reach out to any of us and watch for those entries. We'll have those out here within the next month or so. Any questions on the production sale? Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. And the website committee report. Randy's running up here. She's excited to grab the mic. She's just getting over the Denver crud, so we're going to cut her a little slack.
All right, you have a written report that you can read. I'm not going to go through all of it, but we try to have the website be kind of the place you can go to find out what's going on. And so we hope you find it to be that way. Traffic to our website has just really exploded in the last year. I attribute that to the classified ads. That's a decision we made a couple of years ago to offer that as a member benefit, that if you want to place a classified ad, it doesn't cost you anything. We post it on the website, we post it on Facebook, and we send out emails to all members. And since we've done that, the traffic on the website has just really gone up. It used to be that all of our traffic was on the sale website, and now we manage on a regular website. So we're quite excited about that and hope people pay attention to the fact that that's a benefit that any of you can use. The other thing that we started in the last year is there were a couple online educational sessions, and we have those posted on the website. There's under resources, there's educational sessions. So we had a session that Ann Proctor did on nutrition. We also had Skylar Anderson do one on bull selection. So you can go and watch those anytime. If you have any suggestions for the website, or think of something that would be helpful to see there, just let us know. You can always connect. Just go to website at NCHCA.org and send us an email. Any questions?
Yeah. Thank you, Randy. Okay. Calendar committee, Maureen.
I took over from Larry Sasson, who's been battling some health issues. So we want to send out well wishes to Larry that he is on the road to recovery. So I took over the calendar committee chair. At the end of the 2022 annual meeting, we were trying to cut costs for shipping. Basically, we wanted to keep the quality of our calendar, but we wanted to get it to you guys a little cheaper. And so we made some adjustments, and TJ and Associates forgot those adjustments. So if you got a calendar, you're going to notice it looks exactly the same. And the committee has decided to keep it that way, but we are going to have to raise the cost of shipping because everything is going up. So the quality of the calendar is basically the most important thing at this point for us. And I want to shout out to Randy and Mary and Daniel Webster and Jan for really getting on it last year. We wouldn't have a calendar without you guys. There are some changes that we made for the 2024 calendar. So the 2023 calendar is sold out, which is awesome. So we are moving right into the 2024 calendar. Some changes were made for submitting photos this year, though. We have to limit the number that each farm member can submit. I submitted 16 last year. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun. I love my cows. I love taking pictures. But Randy waded through over 176 photos last year. And when you have so many farms voting, it got really complicated. So we're limiting to 4, try and pick 1 per season. We also made the change that the cover of the calendar will change every year. So the same farm will not get to be on the cover. That's one thing we did decide on. So everybody has an opportunity for that. Voting or submitting of photos is active as of Tuesday. So feel free to get on there and start submitting your photos. We hope to have voting open for submissions. I think we said March 15th. Closing March 15th. So that's when they'll be closed, and then we'll have results hopefully to you guys by April. Does anybody have questions about calendar and photo submission? Okay.
Thank you, honey. Okay. All right, so the Hoofbeat Committee here. Kay Clemens is our editor, and she could not be here today. She and her husband are fighting some health issues as well. So I need to flip through because I made some notes. Kay and I have worked pretty closely this year on the Hoofbeat. And I don't know if any of you noticed, but we were only able to get like 3 issues out this year because we had some difficulty getting turnaround from TJ Associates. So I called TJ and I talked to, who's it, Dan's son, I'm sorry, his name, Tom. And he suggested that we change the email address that we're working with and to include him on it. So hopefully things are going to get back on track and we're going to work on it and start that way. Kay also had some suggestions. She thought about doing possibly an email letter. I know it's been discussed in the past rather than a hard copy. I know there are some people that do want the hard copies, so she understands that as well, but she's got somebody that's interested, willing to sign up and work on an e-letter, an e-newsletter quarterly. So I'm going to leave that up to the upcoming board to discuss and let them work on it for you. The board did not discuss that yet, but I think that is definitely a reasonable thing to include. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for my. Does anybody have any questions on that? Good. Okay. So we're going to move on to committee sign up. I'm hoping that if you went online to the website to sign up to come here today, that y'all took a few minutes to go through and sign up to work on some committees. It's super helpful. Everybody on the committee appreciates each other, and especially new people. It's always awesome to get new ideas and fresh input on things. So please, if you haven't already, hop online. And I think Randy has made it fairly easy to go in and find it and sign up. So I'm going to encourage everybody to do that. Would you like to sign up? Yeah, Randy's offered to go ahead and pass paper around so y'all get a chance here to sign up for something. So we'll let her work on that. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Melinda, for offering as well. Okay. And that brings us to new business. Do I need to hit this button again? Okay. So we're going to start with the elections. What? Oh, look at that. So we're going to start with elections, and we're going to start out with the president for elections. If you looked online at the North Central website, you'll see there was a bio submitted for a nominee for president. And I don't know if I have to do this officially. I'm gonna nominate Melinda Cowell for president. Ann has just seconded. Do we have anybody else who would like to step in and try their hand at president? Hearing none. Mark has moved to close nominations. There's a second. And should we move for, do we get just a unanimous ballot? All right, Melinda, Rose, and Mark, we got that ballot cast and seconded. You got, you unanimously have won president. Congratulations. And while we're on a roll, we have another nominee for vice president, and that would be Katie Baker. So we've got that. I move to have Katie. Billy seconds. Are there any other nominees for vice president? Okay. I'm going to close the nominations. Can I? Oh, look at that. I don't even need to be here, y'all. Okay, can I get a motion for unanimous ballot? Sharon made the motion. Maureen seconded. Congratulations, Katie. Thank you so much. All right, and that moves us on to directors. So we have 2 nominees for 2 open spots. Imagine that. So, Michelle Letourneau, can you stand up so everybody can wave hi? All right. And Jessica Lipke. Thank you. She's so shy over there. So those 2 have been nominated. Do I get a second? Sharon seconds it. I'll close the nominations. Can I get a unanimous ballot? Oh, I need a motion to close nominations. Maureen motions to close nominations. Can I get a second? Ann's going to second it. Okay. Unanimous ballot. Rose cast the unanimous ballot. Do I get a second? Sharon seconds. Thank you both guys for jumping on. It'll be really nice to have some new, fresh ideas. Thank you so very much. Congratulations to both. That brings us to the ACA rep. Again, the bio is online.
Officially nominate Jen.
Mark nominates, Maureen seconds. Do we have any other nominees? Josh is going to close the nominations. All right, I guess. Maureen moved for a unanimous vote. Josh seconds. Thank you, Sharon. And I guess I'm going to wind up all as your ACA rep. Thank you so much. Those are the fastest elections I've ever been through. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about the ACA national sale that just happened a couple of weeks ago out in Denver. I am part of the National Sale Committee, and we had 7 bulls that averaged $5,543 per bull. The highest selling bull was $16,000. That was STR Encore, owned by Windermere Farm, or not Windermere. Oh my goodness. Josh. Yes. Can you tell I'm nervous? There were 14 females on the sale, and the total for that, for the females, is $171,500. How awesome is that? And the top two females were $19,000 as well as an $18,500. Pretty awesome. There were 21 lots of semen, and the total for the semen lots was $79,950. And so the average lot was $5,710. There were 8 embryos as well as a flush for a total of $24,000. Boy, when we started, we were lucky to get, I don't think we even had embryos back then. We were lucky to get semen lots at $50 to $100. So this was awesome. The sale committee met afterwards, and we are talking about changing up some of the vet requirements because there was some confusion this year on that. So we're going to look at that with the National Western Vet and go over what needs to be done, what testing and things like that have to be done. And we are already looking forward and planning for next year's sale because this one was awesome. If you have any suggestions, any ideas for the national sale, please let us know, and we'll take that into consideration. Thank you. Okay. They go all over the U.S. Josh's bull went to California. We sold some to Florida, New Mexico. Like I said, they go everywhere from Denver. Okay. Were you a consignor? Okay. I'll have to look into that and let you know. I'm sure we have it in the records. I'm sure if I talk to Gina, we can get an idea of where everything went. But like I said, I know from one end of the country to the other. It's very cool. Yes. Cindy, you had a question? This is true. She said, and I don't know if you could hear her, you can wait a couple of months and look up the animal's registration number or look at the animal's name on the website, on the ACA website, and it'll tell you where it went, who's the owner, and where they live. In the herd book on the ACA website. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Bidding number. I don't think it was that. Some of the animals did say where they were going, but it wasn't consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of animals that were sold or bid on online as well. So, like I said, these animals can go just about anywhere in the U.S. Okay. At this time, do we want to talk about the 2023 production sale, or are you good, Josh? You're all good? All right. So at this time, I just want to send out a big thank you to the members of North Central and a big thank you to my board. I know I thanked them all last year because they're pretty awesome. I've had a rough couple of years and they saw me through and supported me. And I want to thank Melinda, and I want to thank Josh and Randy. Randy's not on the board, but she helped me a lot. And Maureen and Mark and Ann. And I'm trying to remember who else. Oh yeah, Katie. Ha! Sorry, Katie. No, I really appreciate all you guys, and thank you very much. At this time, I would like all the past board members and past North Central presidents to stand up, because I'm just curious to see how many of y'all are still here. Would you mind? Huh? All right, thank you, guys. How about the current board members? Let's get you all to stand up. These are some of my favorites. Yep. Thank you guys for all your hard work that you do every year. Every year, I really appreciate that. I also want to thank all the committee chairs, because if you were listening at all here today, you could tell that they are all very concerned about giving you as a member, as a North Central member, the best bang for your buck. They're concerned about what helps the members and what they can do to take care of you. And I think that was an ongoing theme in each report, and I think that was awesome. Thank you guys very much. I also want to thank okay. All right, well, how about we do Farm Tech Days? Katie's telling me, hey, you need to pay attention here. Farm Tech Days. So we're going to have Maureen come up and talk about Farm Tech Days here. Dennis. Oh, presentation. Look at you. All right, I'm going to hand this over. Do I hand it over to you or Dennis?
Let's do Dennis. Pointing to me, but I say him. I can start. I did the PowerPoint, so he doesn't know what's going to be on the screen. Where's present? It's not on the camera or anything, so we just have to hit the next button. I don't know where's the present. This one? Oh, there you go. So if I hit enter, it'll just, yeah, okay. All right, so 2022 was in Clark County, Wisconsin, on July 12th to the 14th. The county that represented was Loyal. Loyal is in the middle of nowhere. It was a really small place. 2022 was hosted by the Rural Acres Farm and Rustic Occasions. Their barn was over 100 years old, and they were 100% robotic milking, 500 registered dairy cattle, and cropping over 750 acres. It was quite the production to see. It was really cool to see. So Dennis and I prepped by giving baths in the pasture. we lost our building, so we filled up the tank of water and created our own little pen for bath time the night before. And we chose to take SDN Sunrise Mist and her 22 calf HDN Sunrise Lucy. So this was not Misty's first time at Farm Technology Days. Thank you to Rich and Jean Bernert. She was 12. She's a love. She follows me around the lot at home, so I had no problem and every confidence in taking her. And we really wanted to socialize her calf, which is what Farm Technology Days is for us as a breeder. So there the girls are cleaned up in pasture. I'm the calendar committee. I take pictures. What can I say? So they settled in really easily. The temperatures were cooler this year than last. They weren't nearly as humid as we've had in the past, which was a blessing. Thanks to Jean and Rich and Cindy for working on flowers and making the beef tent as pretty as it was. You can see we had some clouds come in. I think we had rain every day this year, so it was a little sloppy at times because it was a downpour and it was just one cloud and then it cleared up, but it made the grounds nice and muddy. But Misty and her calf had no problems. We weren't worried about heat stress like we had been the year before when it was so ungodly hot, which I'm sure you also deal with at Minnesota State Fair. Yeah, Lucy didn't care. She was cool and comfy. We had a total of 46,084 people attend, which was a little lower than the previous year. And I feel like they all came through the beef tent at least once. And there's always one. So we had a little excitement in the beef tent this year. We did have a sick calf, which thank gosh, the Farm Tech Days Committee has a vet on record or on hand that we can call. But the Shorthorns went above and beyond. So their paneling that they used had a small opening, and the Shorthorn thought the grass was greener on the other side. So she got her head stuck. That's what Rich came into on Wednesday morning. So I'm gonna let Dennis talk about how they got her out of there.
So the method that we use, they were talking about using a Sawzall, and I recommended against that. I told them to call the fire department and tell them to bring their jaws, like they're cutting a roof off a car. Basically, we cut the post 2 times and freed the animal and without a scratch, put some leather gloves over the sharp edges and went on with our day.
Dennis, 11 by 9 hole that she was in.
Yeah, yeah. And I did have the same problem one night feeding. I've got the tombstone feeders and I had my cows and calves together. In the 6-inch wide piece, I managed to get a calf's head stuck in it. I happened to be feeding, so it took me an hour and a half, but I got all the hay out of the feeder and rolled it up and chained it up so they couldn't use it. And then I put angle iron 4 foot down and stripped it so there's only a 3-inch hole. So be vigilant so you don't lose an animal.
So in that case, we were really happy that we had horns. That was one of the rare times that we were like, yes, they come in handy for something. Taylor Schaefer, the 75th Allison Dairyland, made sure to stop by, and she liked us so much she came back the next day.
She also has her own beef cattle and animals too.
And once again, the Highlands took home the chick magnet, and this little gentleman had the chick magnet shirt on. He was just too cute. I had to take a picture. Mom said it was okay, so I don't know if I doubt she's watching today. But, and the girls were definitely ready to go home by the end of it all. It's a long 3 days, but it's totally worth it. So highly recommend anybody, even if you just want to stop by and volunteer today for a day to represent North Central, we'd be happy to help you. Dennis and I are really excited because 2023 is in our literally 30 minutes from home. So it's in Sauk County at the Badger Steam and Gas Grounds. It's not hosted by a farm. It's a little different this year because it was planned during the pandemic. And Dennis and I are actually on the executive planning committee. So if you guys have any questions about 2023 and coming to Sauk County, if you need a place to stay, we'll hook you up. If you just want to come and see us and have a tour, we'd love to see you guys. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. Is there any other new business? All right. Well, hearing none, I'm going to continue with my thank yous if y'all don't mind. My family could not be here today. My boys all plow snow in the winter, so their bosses get a little upset if they take off. But I cannot tell you how much I appreciate them. I don't even know. They might be online. I'm not sure. They have been my rock for the past year, and I don't know what I would do without them. So if anybody sees my boys, tell them their mama loves them. Okay. All right. I think that we are set. Does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about? The Adult Scholarship Program. Katie, do you want to discuss that? It was you and Josh, correct? He's talking about it.
Right, so the scholarship program was for Josh's baby than mine. I put together some paperwork maybe. But it's really an opportunity for us as breeders to continue education in whatever way that looks. So I think it's, oh, I don't have the exact numbers, up to $500 a year. You can apply up to every 24 months, something like that. All of the details are laid out on the website. So think about it as any type of opportunity you want to do, whether it's attending a nutrition class, an AI program, whatever that looks like for you to help build your farm, your new opportunities. You can submit a scholarship request with receipts for whatever program you've done to the board. That will get reimbursed to you. And as far as requirements, really all that we ask is you do something to share that knowledge with the rest of our membership. So that could be next year at the annual meeting, coming up here and sharing a little bit about what you've learned. Could be putting on a webinar that we stream live to the group, or an article to the Hoofbeat. So pretty straightforward, I think, but definitely take the opportunity to utilize that to help North Central share in some of those expenses, but also share that knowledge with the rest of the membership.
Thank you, Katie. Is there anything else? All right. We have not discussed a summer picnic. That would be something that the new board, why are you offering? Then we can tour your new house. All right. Okay, so I'll let the new board discuss that, and Melinda's got it on the books. And I want to thank you all very much for coming today. And we're going to close our 2023 North Central Annual Meeting. Can I get a motion? Sharon's going to move that we adjourn. Katie's going to second it, and that's going to be it. Thank you all very much. Oh, yeah, I got to remember. Melinda wants to speak with all the new board members after the meeting. So if you've been elected or appointed or whatever, go visit her, and she'll talk to you about what she needs to talk to you about. And lunch begins at 11. So don't forget that. And I'm sorry, what? Oh, yes, and the junior auction. Anything else, guys? All right, lunch, to my knowledge, is going to be served out here in the hallway in the back. It'll be buffet style, so hang around for that. And again, thank you very much.
Well,